Hey everybody, welcome to Anatomy of a Movie News. Today is April 23rd, 2014. And Sarah, what do we have for today?
So I want to start with the fact that there's been a huge deal that's happened, Amazon Prime and HBO. So for those of you guys who don't have HBO Go, Amazon Prime Instant Video is now going to be having HBO shows. So this is going to include your past seasons of Sopranos, The Wire. The only condition is that they're kind of only using shows that are 3 years after the initial release date. So they're planning on eventually rolling in the past seasons of Game of Thrones, past seasons of Girls. But right now, it's more of like the old school HBO.
Now, what about the movies?
What about HBO movies? I mean, this deal is in the works. It's kind of, they've signed on, it's multi-year. They're also going to be going to Amazon's Fire TV, which is a top box set. So we're going to see more integration. Right now, what they've mostly told us is to look forward to The Sopranos, The Wire, maybe some Boardwalk Empire.
Maybe some Sex in the City. All right.
But also, big news this week, WonderCon. So WonderCon happened in Amazon, California. I'm not Amazon.
Amazon, what a great place.
Yeah, go to Amazon, California. No, in Anaheim, California. You know, accepting all the cosplay lovers. I saw some of the costumes. I wasn't actually in the center, but I went to Disneyland across the street, and you could just see the people so excited. Traffic backed up for miles. It was a sold-out event. But what I really want to talk about is the fact that they brought up Batman's 75th anniversary, but there was also an X-Men panel. And Bryan Singer wasn't there due to some sexual assault allegations that he's going with. They're kind of pulling him back from the film. Instead, they had writer-producer Simon Kinberg taking on the panel. So lots of fans, lots of fun, lots of costumes. If you want to see pictures, they're all over the internet. People are going all out.
And our Dimitri Panos went as well, and so follow us on Twitter at Movie Anatomy for those pictures of Dimitri's adventures.
I want to see if he is in costume.
Yeah.
Of course.
And besides superhero movies, we have a lot of comedy films coming out this summer. Now, the summer is Hollywood's time for comedy, and they've actually started this season a little bit early. Starting this Friday, Fox is rolling out The Other Woman, starring Cameron Diaz, Leslie Mann, and Kate Upton in her first acting role. But what's interesting is once May rolls around, Focus Features is going to have Elizabeth Banks' rom-com Walk of Shame. Universal has The Neighbors, which stars Seth Rogen and Zac Efron, coming out the same day as Mom's Night Out. Now, the box office is getting overloaded once June hits. So we have, at the end of May, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore they're going to team up again in Warner Brothers Blended. And then we have Seth MacFarlane's cowboy romp, A Million Ways to Die in the West, debuts for Universal. June hits. Guys, that's before June. June is like really summertime, right? So when June hits, we have the team behind the Lego Movie, who's Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They're going to roll out Kevin Hart's Think Like a Man 2 and 22 Jump Street a week apart. That's crazy. Then Melissa McCarthy's Tammy and Rob Reiner's And So It Goes and Jake Kassan's Sex Tape will all arrive in July. Now, is this too much comedy for the box office to handle? Do you think that these movies will make the big bucks that they're used to seeing?
I mean, it's just crazy because it's so overwhelming. And for me, it's like, I've known about the comedies that are being out soon because they're taking over my commercials.
Yeah.
Like every 2 seconds, I'm seeing The Other Woman. I'm seeing like excerpts of stunt doubles from Seth Rogen. Like, it's all over the internet. It's all over their TV. The marketing for these comedies is going crazy. And if it's just going to be getting more and more, I feel like I'm going to be laughing so much just at the commercials. I'm not going to be able to laugh at the movies.
I don't mind having so many comedies coming out because it's a nice balance from all the action summer movies that are going to be out. And it seems like all these comedies that are coming out to expect in the future, it hits both demographics with men and females. So we're going to have a lot of butts in the seats going to see these funny films.
Yeah, and a lot of times they think the summer that, like families are off work, they're vacationing, they have a lot more free time, kids are out of school, they're gonna go see these movies. Interestingly enough though, Universal has 2 R-rated flicks, so not many kids can go see that. So it'll be interesting to see how those reflect in the box office.
But in terms of that one, I mean, Ted was huge. And so we'll see how this one does, the follow-up for Seth MacFarlane. Just real quick, we do have some footage from the red carpet for the Other Woman premiere. And a lot of these movies I'm excited to personally see, and I know Sarah, Marissa, and all of us here, John and Dimitri, will be dissecting a lot of these comedies.
Oh, definitely. I mean, comedies are so much fun. But on the other end of the spectrum, we do have a movie that if you want to see something not so funny, Thriller Revenge, Blue Ruin. So this film is another throw to Kickstarter. We talked about Veronica Mars here at Anatomy of the Movie, and we really applauded the fans' power to get a movie going, to stand behind, take kind of the place of a studio, and get momentum. So Kickstarter at it again, but this time with an original motion picture. So Blue Ruin premiered. They brought it to the Cannes Film Festival in 2013, and now it's coming into select theaters, iTunes, on demand. So really look out for it. It's all from the Power of the Fans, $35,000 budget, and it's supposed to be amazing.
That's incredible. And maybe we'll have another Blue Ruin coming out of the Tribeca Film Festival, which today is the 8th day of the festival. And so far, we have an amazing sports documentary from Michael Rappaport, who is really bringing in these docs. I love to see that this former actor turned director and producer is rolling out another amazing documentary. And this one is called When the Garden Was Eden, and it's a Knicks documentary. And ESPN is actually going to roll it out as part of its 30 for 30 doc series. And it'll be coming out later this year on ESPN, so you guys can check that out there. And any Joss Whedon fans, we're going back to the superhero fans over here. His latest film, In Your Eyes, not such a superhero film, but it screened this Sunday night, and it's actually available for digital download for $5 on the movie's website already. This is sort of never really happened before, where something's premiering at a festival and then going right to digital download. So it's really cool for all of us who like to watch our films on our computers. You guys can download Joss Whedon's film for only $5.
And that's crazy. $5 Joss Whedon. I mean, you're talking about when you go to see his superhero films, like a $20 ticket to see it in 3D, and then if you could throw in popcorn. So this is such a steal to see some of his art, and I'm really excited. And what's more interesting is we didn't seem to see much of a partnership. It didn't seem like a collaboration. It was really Joss Whedon reaching out his movie to his fans, and that's exciting.
It's really cool. And it is a supernatural romance with the two characters have a telepathic bond. So there might be a little Avengers flavor in there for all of us superhero movie fans. And now if you're a big fan of House of Cards, we have Corey Stoll, who plays Peter Russo on the show. He is going to be making a bigger household name of himself, which is awesome. I think he was great in House of Cards. He's playing a former boxer in The Glass Chin, which is premiering at the Tribeca Film Festival. Now, what's interesting about this movie is it's a boxing movie, but he never boxes in it. Which is really interesting. He plays Bud the St. Gordon, who is a forgotten boxing champ whose career and fame plummet after throwing a fight years before. So it's sort of his life after his career. But unfortunately, there is no release date for this film yet. So unless you're in New York, if you're not in New York, we can't see it yet. We just have to wait.
Oh, I hate waiting.
I'm looking
Go the
forward
Joss
to
Whedon
that.
route. Come on,
I want to download
trend.
it now.
I'm looking forward to that because when we see sports movies or anything that has to deal with sports-related storylines, we tend to see some of the action when we see sports. And then to have a more serious movie with no sports involved, even though there is boxing, I think is really great, and we can focus on character growth.
Yeah, it's more story-driven than action-driven, which will be really interesting.
Well, it's, we did Draft Day just a week ago, and so it kind of, that's a football movie, but not a football movie, which is interesting. And then, I don't know, we'll see how they handle it. Obviously, I don't know too much other than what you described, but remember On the Waterfront? He's an ex-boxer, but it's nothing about boxing. It's about, you know what I mean? And so it'll be interesting how they tiptoe that. So.
Well, that is your Anatomy of a Movie news for today, April 23rd. And we will see you back here soon. Thanks, guys.